And we are underway here. And we start with a hook shot. That is actually very good.
That gives us a lot of mobility. That gives us a weapon right off the bat that we can at least stun enemies and defeat some of the smaller enemies with. And it allows us access to certain parts of the area game we couldn't do yet. Poor guard, what are you doing? Are you just doing the mambo over there?
I like that sign that Solski just picked up in red. It said randomizers can have telepathic hints. I did not even know that sign existed.
Nice.
But yes, these gardeners are of course going to get their Uncle Assured sword here. And we alluded to this earlier, and there's the Moon Pearl as well. Wow. But yeah, this hookshot can stun, and it seems to our stun price is only hearts. But the boomerang cannot stun, so the only thing that you can stun with is that hookshot.
That is correct, and our Moon Pearl is our first piece of Dark World progression. So we are still missing we need the hammer for sure, and one glove and possibly the Titan's boots. And there's the book. Interesting pickup.
Yeah, very interesting pickup there. That gives us access to desert, although we can't fully clear it. Something else that we should probably note here is due to the logic here, because it's all dungeons. Ideally, we don't want to fight Aga 1 till the very end, but it could be a very likely scenario, given the fact we have a sword, given the fact we have the Moon Pearl, that we can just find the lamp and another sword, or the moon, or the cape. Speaking of the cape, and just have to go fight Aga 1 early.
It's entirely possible, but we also do need those 2 castle tower keys to get to Aga 1. And we got the bug net inside of Lumberjack Cave, so unless we really want some extra fairies, Aga 1 is not required early.
And actually, no. Can't even capture fairies.
Ooh, right. That's one of the other quirks of hard mode. You can't capture fairies.
And if you try to make fairies appear with the powder, you just get a heart.
Not only that, but the potions are nerfed.
Silver arrows in the escape sequence, and a small key for Leyra to Thieves Town. That is an important one because that is a singular small key that you can only find elsewhere. It's one of a kind.
That is correct there. That key is the one that locks the big chest in Thieves Town. So it's just a single item, but it could be a very important item. Now we have some very interesting routing as Solski is opting to finish off Escape, and whereas Leyra is making a beeline straight for Kakariko.
Gets rewarded too with that. And there's a big key down there for Skull Woods. That one is one of the optional ones, but you know, it can still lock that there could be an important item in that big chest.
All right, Solski death warping back to the front of the castle, and let's see if he opts to go for the rest of the escape sequence, or is just going to go right to the town. But no, he's going for the escape. He's making a break for it, boys.
And meanwhile, only 5 rubies and a map. We haven't talked about maps yet.
That is correct. There, the map will tell you whether it's a crystal or a pendant. Although that is not necessarily all that important in all dungeons, but it's still good to have nonetheless.
Yes, and we also got the small key to desert there. Other things that'll give you that map information is talking to Sarasa for the green pendant, and also the super bomb vendor for the 5-6. Those might still be important, but in terms of what we need, we don't need just the crystals, we need the pendants because it is, like you said, all dungeons.
So as far as routing has gone there, we have a little bit of divergence, whereas Leyra's got the book and is getting a bunch of stuff from Kakariko, whereas Solski's got the cape and silver arrows.
Yes, and we just saw Leyra pick up a compass. Compasses are, and Quake, not bad, and a shield, and a lot of money, nice. But yeah, going back to that compass real quick, all that does is tell you how many items you have left to collect in a dungeon out of a total number. Because with the whole keys being removed from dungeons, for all you know, every single chest in, say, Swamp Palace could have progression. If you had everything you needed to get full clear it.
Yeah, that is correct there. And Palace of Darkness becomes extremely interesting there because normally it has 6 keys, and a lot of them are in chests. But now with a total of, you got a lot more items in play with just those keys being shuffled out into the rest of the world.
That's right. And there's the map right here. That one we can actually check right now. Doing some quick math, there's an extra 9 items in Palace of Darkness because of the key sanity logic. Because you remove all the 6 small keys, and you remove the big key, the compass, of the map. So it comes to like 14 items, which is insane.
Yeah, to counteract that though, each key that you find just only unlocks a small piece of the dungeon. So you're wanting to get at least like 4 or 5 or possibly all 6 of the small keys before you head in there. But sometimes the logic won't let you do that. Meanwhile, Leyra finds a big key in the race game, and immediately he's going to make his way around to see what kind of big key it is.
That's right. I mean, you can't tell just by looking at the big keys which is they go to. So for all we know, this could be Ganon's Tower, or it could just be, you know, I don't know, Palace of Darkness.
Have we already seen the swamp one?
Hera's. We have not seen Swamp. We only seen Skull Woods, I think.
We got the big key to Misery Mire. That's a required key. Good thing to have, but we can't even go near it just yet.
No, we need the flute for that order. Well, no, we need the flute. I was thinking inverted there for a second, but no, we're not playing under those rules.
Yeah, it's sometimes easy enough to get confused between all the different modes that we were definitely having fun with. All right, so Leyra is going to be the first person to check out the south shore of the world here. Meanwhile, Solski is finishing out Kakariko for himself. Leyra has not checked out Escape and is not missing all that much from it, to be honest. Oh, a good hookshot and jump there to be able to do this dam in one shot.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Now, for all we know, there could be important progression in that Aga Tower. It is not too much of a stretch to just use the cape, go past the 2 guards in the second room, go to the 3rd room, kill the enemies there, and get an item that could be required.
It's entirely possible. We can, without the key to Castle Tower, you can get the one chest that's there right now. But it's a bit of a long shot if you're wanting to bank that progression is in there. But we've got Leyra heading into Mini Moldorm Cave. Gonna have our first look inside what's here. Gonna make quick work of these Mini Moldorms with the hook shot. That's when you don't feel like swinging around with a sword while they're zip-zapping everywhere. Hook shot's a good thing to have. And we've got the boots as a reward.
Early boots, nice to have. Some bombs as well. And a glove. And a blue boomerang. Well, I suppose you can use that to hit crystal switches, but it's useless otherwise.
But the boots and the gloves are very interesting. Not only does that give you a major speed boost and just traversing the overworld there, we are now only one piece away from Dark World access. We only need the hammer or Titan's mitts. One of the two. Both eventually will be wonderful to have, but we only need one to get into the other meat of this world.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it's actually Titan Smiths for our Dark World access. Not because it's going to be really trolly, because you only have access to Village of Outcast portal, but because, as we get a small key for Ganon's Tower, it's really a good thing to have that one, because with the Titan Smiths and our boots, we can check King's Tomb, we can check Bonk Rocks, and then we can start going to Dark World.
That's right, we can look at all of the stuff that's in that a sort of long road between Kakariko. Oh, and a nice water walk glitch by Leyra.
Yeah. This water walk, I don't know if they stored another one. Oh, there's the Cane of Samaria.
We have the Cane of Samaria flipper locked. That is very interesting. Oh, sorry, mirror locked and flipper locked.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting indeed. Will not deny that. Alright, Leyra has broken the water walk for the time being.
We get a vanilla bottle from the hobo.
Vanilla bottle with vanilla contents, even.
All right, so now that we've finished pretty much our first main clear of the overworld here, we've got Quake, we've got a book, we've got gloves and boots and hookshot there. That's saying to me, well, by logic, we can't go to Death Mountain yet, so we may want to go check out what's in the Zora area, but we don't have enough money to pay off them. Oh! Yes, indeed. The water watching glitch does put you at one-hit KO status, and looks like LeyraGG is GG to that Octorok, or Zora.
Yeah, Zora. I mean, it's better than the alternative. If you get hit out of fake flipper, you normally would soft lock. We removed that feature.
It's a good mercy to have there. And Solski is looking to set up the Houlihan room by the looks of it.
Yeah, get some extra money here. Always nice to have.
And I believe this should be just a vanilla hint tile, if I'm not mistaken. This is not a hint tile.
It's not a hint tile, and it's not a vanilla hint tile. That is where the tournament champions are held.
Oh, yes, you are correct.
Yeah, and all the tests have changed. The secondary tournament winners are actually held underneath Ganon. All the other ones you can access are there. Leyra getting tripped up by the boomerang, not stunning!
Muscle memory, darn you. So now the question is, we're going to check out Bonkrox, but if there's nothing in Bonkrox, do we sequence break our way up to Death Mountain and hope that something is up on Death Mountain? Or do we just look for progression in perhaps somewhere else?
I say Death Mountain is not the play right now in terms of the logic, but it makes sense given where Leyra is. I think the actual progression lies in Desert, considering we have everything we need, including the small key, to check the front half.
We can definitely check the front half there. We do not have a lamp or a fire rod to fully clear the dungeon, but sometimes that's just key sanity for you.
Or a big key for that matter, but we can still get the torch, we can still get the free item, and we get the 2 items that are locked behind the small key we picked up in Kakariko.
And this is a fairly simple dark room to navigate. So once you get out of here, this will unlock, let's see, it will unlock Spectacle Rock. We have the hookshot to get to East Death Mountain, so I believe that's a Paradox Cave for you.
Yes.
The old man only has 10 rupees, but that's another restart point unlocked, so that's always good.
I think it was actually 10 arrows.
Oh, yes, you're right. It is 10 arrows.
So, here's the thing. It's going to be really telling what we find up here, other than that red boomerang. If we find the lamp, that means we need the flute to get up here, and that's a Bombos medallion.
That is a Bombos medallion. We don't know if it'll be useful or not, but it definitely is a Bombos medallion.
I mean, it already has a use.
Well, yes, getting through Ice Palace and helping out with Cold Stare.
Oh, it's going to help out immensely against Cold Stare, because that's something I forgot to mention about hard mode. No half magic! You're stuck with a full meter.
Oh, and we just got the journal entry hint tile right there. So, telling us how to get to the hookshot, which we already have.
No, that was some bombs require the hookshot. It's telling you that bombs are hookshot locked, which doesn't help.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Link's house is definitely not bomb locked, even if the Dark World will tell you otherwise.
Yeah, it's basically junk hint. There's a few of those around.
Alright, looks like Solski set up the fake flippers glitch as well. It's going to be checking out the hobo to get his bottle. Not sure if he'll be able to go forward with the glitch and find other stuff, but we've got LeyraGG now going to be checking out this treasure trove of chests here. 7 in total. 2 here on this floor, and 5 on the next floor up.
Or down. It's Barrel's Paradox Gate for a reason, after all. And getting some decent money as well.
Leyra now has enough to buy off the Scanmeister Zora.
Yeah, and also pay off Kiki if we ever find our Dark World access. And nice reverse of big flip. There's our fire rod. Okay.
We get one of the 4 Turtle Rock keys. We get our first Castle Tower key.
That's telling. Comes these down.
But meanwhile, looks like Solski is managed to get up to the Zor area. Didn't get to see what that last key was, but we're getting the fake flipper glitch into the waterfall cave, so we'll get to see what this is. And let's see, Solski has just enough rupees to pay off Zora, so we'll get a good look at what this is. We got a key to Ganon's Tower and a key to Castle Tower, so we have both Castle Tower keys in play. Well, not necessarily, not by logic, because that is flipper locked.
We have one that's flipper locked, and we have one that is flute or lamp locked. Which, lamp lock is more telling if it's actually the case.
Well, lamp or flute, we don't know exactly.
And you get free green potion from the bottle vendor.
Not a bad choice, not a bad choice at all. But now we're going onward towards the Zora area. Whereas Leyra's abandoning Death Mountain, nothing interesting found up there, aside from that fire rod, which will be very useful.
We have a Bakey on Zora ledge.
Ooh, and unlike other places where you can fake flipper to here, that ledge is 100% flipper locked. You can't set up fake flipper to it from anywhere else.
You can actually do a fake flipper storage, but it doesn't look like Solski set that up.
And trying to fake flipper through that horde of Zoras is not fun in the slightest anyway.
Well, you're in waterwalk state there, and when you jump down off of the cliff, you're in actually the fake flipper state. So they could have just dashed through the Zoras.
Yeah, quite possibly. But we've got Leyra heading in to check out, see what old man Agina has in his cave. And then we'll be able to check out part of Desert.
So, Chad, if you were able to catch what extra key Leyra has, let us know. And that is the last shield that Leyra can equip, the Fire Shield. My favorite one, actually.
The nicest looking one there, and the one that's most useful for blind, once we get over to him.
Useful for blind, useful against Zoras. Really, you don't need Mirror Shield. It's just there.
Most of our players can mirror skip anyway. Only got a heart piece on Desert Ledge. Interesting.
And the Cactuar is opening up Desert Palace.
Now, does that heart piece count as one of Desert's items, or is that considered an overworld item?
If we're talking about hints, that would be one that would be in plain sight.
Yes. All right. So let's see. What we have the boots early on, so we don't need to worry about what's on this torch. We can get it whether or not it's useful. And
we've got
a map.
Might be useful.
And Solski is heading over to Eastern Palace, and we found the map to Ice Palace. Arrows in Ganon's Tower, not very useful at all.
And we have the map to Eastern Palace here from Solski. And our tracker, Iceman F1, giving us the report that it was a Skullwood small key that Leyra grabbed there when the stream froze up.
Interesting. Alright, so we know that Ice Palace is a green pendant according to Sasha. So we are going to have to see if that is going to hold something in Sasha's pocket or not. There's been plenty of runs where it's been decided about who checks Sasha and that green pendant first. But is this one? Not necessarily. And there we have the lamp, though. So we're now back in logic for getting all that goodies that was on top of Death Mountain.
Yep. Which is telling. Like I said, that means that the 2 chests in Aga Tower are now in logic. Both of them.
That is right, and we've got the fire rod, the lamp, and the lamp now. So
we're only missing the flippers for this to be an Aga required seed at this point.
Which is not something you usually see in Key Sanity. Well, not as often as some of the other things, but even so, yes.
I might have misspoke out of turn, actually. It's not an early Agassiz so much as it's not a forced Agassiz so much as it is an early Agassiz.
Well, yes, this is all dungeons. We're gonna have to visit everywhere anyway. Oh, that's right. Something that we had not seen from Solski. We got the shovel. It's a fetch quest item, but still useful.
Yeah, it's still useful because it can dig you up recovery items. So if you need to fill up your magic and don't want to drink one of your precious potions, it might be worth your while to try to look for a full decanter that way.
You're trading time for health, but sometimes that's what the game calls for.
Another hint from Solski. Some cash is held by someone friendly. That could be any number of friendly NPCs, including catfish.
What is being held by someone friendly? I didn't catch that.
Just some money.
Yeah, that's nothing terribly interesting, unfortunately. But we've got Leyra right on Solski's heels. Solski is only up the front half of Escape on Leyra, having only found the cape inside. So we are still undecided on whether that is a hint towards Aga 1 or not. As soon as we find the flippers, we'll know.
And someone is asking who won game 2. I don't remember which one won game 2, but regardless, each one of them has won a single game.
Not that there's much of I'm not sure if the individual head-to-head record will come into play all that much, but this is the tiebreaker between them.
So, like we've said, Aga 1 is potentially an option here. Especially if flippers are actually up there in the tower in one of those first 2 chests, because the other small castle tower key was flippers locked in the waterfall cave, so...
A double dip of Aga 1 would be pretty nasty, but possible there. Solski taking that shovel and decides to head up towards the dig spot, and only finds a piece of heart and decides to ditch it.
Yeah. I personally would take any piece of heart you can get, because your maximum health is 14, and the majority of those heart containers that you're going to get from those heart are actually heart pieces.
That is right. 5 full heart containers are removed from the pool, and 4 pieces of heart. So 5/6 of all the missing hearts are full containers and not pieces of heart.
I'll turn for another small Skullwood small key. We now know where 2 of them are. And I think that's all of them, actually. All the ones that we can find. There's a 3rd one, but I think that's still always in the pinball room as a safety option.
That is right there. That pinball room always has a key in it regardless, so you don't drop down and get stuck. Alright, from our maps, we can see that Turtle Rock and Easton Palace are both crystals, but not either of the 5 or 6 crystals. But it looks like Leyra is heading up to Escape, and they can check out that segment for themselves. Now that they have the lamp, it'll make routing that back half of Escape quite a bit easier. But we'll see whether you can. She will. Sorry, where Leyra will go in Escape. How far they are willing to go.
Yeah, we'll see how things progress here.
All right, so that's Leyra picking up their cape, and with a nice double spin slash to take out the guard.
I'm just gonna call out. I think we're being shoehorned to Aga 1, if not to get an item from the tower, just to go straight up clear it.
That is quite possible. We're running out of places to check.
In fact, I can't think of any. I think we're out. Yeah, I can't think of any other location besides Aga Tower that has not been checked by either runner.
Have we checked the dark room chest inside of the Escape? The dark sewer checks?
I think Solski did do that. I think Solski did it at the start.
I think he just. I'm trying to remember. For some reason I'm remembering that Solski just death warped out of from Zelda sub, but that could be wrong.
And we're getting confirmation that it was just money. This is an Aga seed. If for no other reason to climb the tower.
It's starting to look. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is what it is. But Leyra wants to check the back of Escape first. So we're gonna have a little bit of time before either player makes their way to the top. But maybe Leyra has a little bit of a sneaking suspicion. Is gonna route it in with the Escape, and it could just like death warp straight back to the front door and walk up to Aga's tower from there.
Always a possibility. So here's the thing: there has to be progression in the tower. That we know that much. Question: is it actually our straight up Darkwood access, or is it the flippers?
Having a required double dip of Aga Tower would be very interesting. In addition to having this be an Aga required seed, something you don't see every day, as there's only 2 items in the tower itself, and that the fact that, well, this is all dungeons. We're gonna have to take down Aga 1 eventually anyway. But progression is often, you could just take down Aga 1 whenever you feel like, just because those chests have a low probability of having anything interesting inside them.
Yeah, but unfortunately in this case, they can have everything they need inside them. Fire coming into play here. Pretty quick kill on the guards, although they have to burn them for a bit. And here is the first chest.
Now, Leyra only has 1 key, so will not be able to go as far as Solski has, as Solski was able to get 2 keys due to that fake flipper stating up towards Waterfall Cave.
Yes, but 1 key is enough to get the second chest here in the dark maze of Aga Tower. And this has to have progression in it. It's the flippers! This is an early Aga forced seed!
Early Aga 4 seed and double dip the boot.
With
those flippers, with those flippers, we can get that big key that we saw on the Zora ledge, I believe it was.
Yes, but we already knew it was a double dip to begin with. Now it's just confirmed that it's a double dip and a required one in order to get to your Darkwood access.
That is nasty but fun. So
Seed
yeah, again,
Seed is not pulling any punches today, and I'm okay with it.
Well, this is a hard mode key sanity all dungeons. It was never pulling any punches in the first place, but.
And right here is when Leyra's heart sinks.
I'm surprised they didn't just bomb the chest.
Nah, they're gonna bomb Zora. But we'll get an idea with this we'll get information on this big key here, at least, so there's that.
That will be a little bit of a routing time save, so that's a bit of something. Solski's still making his way through Paradox Cave at the present moment.
Yeah, this is where the second End Tower key is, or Aga Tower key is. There it is. There's the fire art as well. And we'll get actual confirmation what this small key is. Yeah, it is Skullwoods.
That's correct. So let's go see what this big key here is. It is the big key to Desert Palace. Interesting.
Okay, that opens up actually another option, another out. With the fire art, that opens up an out that this is not Aga forced. Our hammer or our Titanspits could be on Lamolus.
That is correct. We still have not seen either of those 2 locations just yet, but Leyra is just following the breadcrumbs and is going right back in to Castle Tower.
No, Leyra is setting up what looks to be a bomb grind.
Interesting. Not sure what that's all about, but bombs are always useful.
Alright, magic for the cape. I didn't even pay
Oh,
attention to that.
yes. You need to get into that front door somehow. All right, so it looks like Solski's heading into Castle Tower himself. He already has most of those keys early due to the fake flippers.
See if enough magic? No! Double drain coming into play there.
Thankfully, you got that free refill from the fairy earlier with that green potion.
Yeah, has a couple, I think. Should have just enough magic here to torch the 2 guards. And sadly, that powder is not that useful. Because like we said, you can't powder anti-fairies into fairies. You can only powder fairies or anti-fairies into hearts.
That is correct.
And there's the flippers for Solski. I'm still kind of half hope that ooh, we have a Turok key in Misery Mire. On the Firelock side as well, which means by the key sanity logic, I think that means we need all 3 of the Misery Mire keys. Could be wrong though. And I'm gonna hold out that Desert has progression. I wanted to have progression so that you didn't have to do this Aga climb until you needed to. Well,
that is entirely possible, but well, that's just taking a chance there. I mean, what is just the better option? That having to have done Aga and that's going to be your Dark World access, or having your normal Dark World access through Desert, which is the longer route if you end up guessing wrong on that 50-50?
Short term, it would be the Desert Gambit, but long term, it would actually be Aga. Because in the long term, because here's the thing. Defeating Aga 1 with the Moon Pearl gives you a full refill after the fight. And you might want that for Ganon. That is the ideal reason why some people try to save Aga 2 to Aga 1 Ganon for their last 3 in all dungeons.
Yeah, this is hard mode, and it will drain health from you like none other there. So that free refill may come into play.
Yes, but not as we see the Aga 1 go down. Because here's the thing. Aga 2 does not give you a refill. It's only Aga 1.
That's right. You just go straight from Aga 2 right into the Dark World. I'm sorry, into the Ganon fight.
And Aga 1 is down for Leyra. Soon we'll see following up right on their heels. And is that what I think it is? Oh, it's a small key.
Ganon's Tower, small key. We've already got plenty of those. We only need like a small handful at best.
Yeah, pretty much. Leyra's gonna be moving to see the grumpy fish known as Catfish. Or is this gonna be going to Village of Outcasts? No, this will be going to see Catfish. That's not to isolate it now after you've done all your Zora checks. I can get behind
pretty
this
much. Yeah, it is pretty far out of the way there, and when there's no mirror to go to Zora, which you've already been to anyway, it's something you want to have done while you're in the area before you go anywhere else, because it is a trek and a half to get back up here otherwise.
Yeah, now the question is for Leyra, is this a pod? Actually, no. What am I saying? Of course, this isn't a pod dev. You're going straight to the Village of Outcasts. And just a fair sum of money there.
Catfish is paying us to let him sleep in. So back the way that we came. No save and quit back to the back the way we came. So all right, we've got Skullwood's completely in play right now. I believe we've got enough keys to finish it. We've got you can start Palace of Darkness, but we have no key, so we'd have to pray that we got a key in the first chest, which is kind of unlikely at this point. Swamp Palace is out of the question.
Remember how I said the Palace of Darkness is not an ideal play? I think Solski's gonna be making it.
Oh really? What makes you think that?
He bought a potion. He's got a potion glitch.
Ooh, interesting. That is entirely possible. For those of you who don't know, ooh, we have the cape as well and the hook shot.
Oh, you don't need the hook shot, just the cape.
The hook shot does make it easier though. But yeah, we just need the cape and that's all. You can just squeeze past this ledge onto the left there.
And Solski's making a liar of me, not going to Palace of Darkness. Probably realized that they didn't have any keys. And that Master Sword is the second of the 4 swords that are available to our runners. All 4 progressive upgrades are available. However, in hard mode, the final upgrade of each is then replaced with 20 rupees.
Is it the green 20 or is it just a standard red 20?
It's a red 20. I've actually commented a scene in which red mail was on pedestal and someone pulled it, thinking that they would, you know, be a glitch.
Interesting there. Alright, looks like we found a heart container inside of that big chest in Skullwood. Nothing of interest there, but we still got plenty of goodies to look through. And getting another heart container. This is getting a lot of those heart containers out of the way early. We're already up to 7 hearts total. Not bad from being in the Dark World with green mail.
Yeah, 7 hearts green mail. That feels pretty okay, but you obviously want a little bit more of a leeway in terms of pool.
Alright, so we've got both runners following in each other's footsteps. Solski's only a tad bit behind, whereas Leyra's cleared out this first section of Skullwoods and is going to be heading onwards to the next. We've got the swamp being a red crystal, Ice Palace is a green pendant, as we know, and Palace of Darkness is a blue pendant.
And Skullwoods is also there, and we see another pendant over at Pod. And Solski, being a crazy person, hovering that gap.
If you gotta do it, you gotta do it with style.
Now, I want to point something out here. You can hear that we saw on the map that this was a crystal dungeon, but we are hearing the pendant music. That is something else that Key Sanity does. It changes the music in the dungeon, so you cannot rely on it to tell if a dungeon is a pendant or a crystal.
That is correct.
Like that. Yeah, it tries to be sneaky like that.
All right, Leyra death warping back to the front to that front door of Skullwoods. Deaths in this dungeon are not nearly as bad as some other dungeons due to just being able to go to whatever chunk that you want to, and this whole dungeon being so segmented.
Well, we're about to go see what the moth has in store for us.
And if Mafia doesn't have anything, we're most likely going to Thieves Town next. We've got the big key for it, but no hammer. And we have the small key for it. So we really need that hammer to get that last chest in Thieves Town. But we can clear out everything else, which is a good chunk of change.
Yeah, we can even use that, You can actually use that small key elsewhere in the dungeon, too. Like, we can use it to open up the door up the staircase, and then just pick up the one in the pot as we flip the switch back and forth.
Pretty much, yeah. It all comes down to what do you want to isolate if you don't have all the keys. But we do, so we can do it pretty easily.
Yeah. You can even just ignore the small key next to blind until you're ready for it. Considering we have no hammer to even get to the big chest. Oh man, that kid is not playing nice for Leyra. And they're
right. So we're going to be going into Mothula with about a third magic. We've got 7 hearts, and we've got the big bug to deal with on this moving platform with all the spikes playing dodgeball.
Yeah, and unfortunately those spikes don't care about what mail you have, so this is actually one of the trickier fights. Especially when you consider that Moth themselves is immune to spike damage.
And that moth won't stay still, and will want to just keep moving around, so it gets hard to approach it properly with the moving platform, and it will often just move you right into his shotgun blast. But down goes the moth. Leyra is going to have the first blood for the simultaneous as well. That's the ether medallion. Still don't know where those will be useful in terms of opening dungeons, but it's a good find nonetheless.
Yeah, and I think that's both medallions for all 3 medallions for both the runners. Solski did see Bombos over in the cave. I'm not sure if they picked it up yet. Solski getting out just a little bit later, but that's fine. But yeah, something else we didn't talk about that moth fight is, if you ram moth in the spikes, the damage immunity takes place over your own damage that you would have dealt as well. So in some cases, you can make your attacks excellently do no damage.
Yeah, apparently Mothula is a masochist and just loves being rammed into spikes. For some reason, our sword, being a sharp metal pointy object, does not count as a spike.
It actually does if you have the gold sword for that fight. But that's only in vanilla. We made it so that the gold sword does temper damage to Moth.
Alright, so we've got our Dark Kakariko check here. Inside the Sea House, we've just got 20 bucks. Solski is heading on the same route, and Leyra will be heading pretty much right towards, are going right into Thieves Town. Well, we're opening it up. We're going to check out the chess game first, because that's right next door.
Yeah. And I like the fact that Leyra is blazing the trail, but Solski is basically riding the tailwind of it. Or the drafting it, or whatever you want to call it.
They're making the same decisions. I haven't found anything useful just as of yet. So, we're just going to keep going around this counterclockwise fashion until we find something that will lead us forward. Can probably be checking out Thieves Town next, and then going down towards the digging game, and then the Dark Chest Sword Clear with Hype Cave and all that.
Man, where's the diversions in the seed? Well, there's Tiny Smiths. Wait, Tiny Smiths and... Okay, sure.
Do I even need to say it at this point?
I don't know, are you a fan of French vanilla?
Is this even randomized?
Regardless, Tiny Smiths are our first item here in Thieves Town. Both runners picking that up, so now they have access to Dark World outside. So it's looking like Aga was the play. It just depends if Moldorm has our... Or, not Moldorm, I got my bosses mixed up again. If Lammolas have our hammer.
Yeah, they both have that M sound in them. So yeah, if Landmoles has the hammer, then the Aga one was definitely required early. If not, then, well, we found our way into the Dark World anyway and got our full Dark World access via the other means. So both Aga 1 and potentially the Desert Palace had Dark World access to them, and we were sort of in a choose-your-own adventure state.
Yeah. If I had to choose between the hammer on the Lammolas or Aga 1, in this, if it was a defeat Ganon goal, I would have chose Aggle 1. But considering it's all dungeons, I would have checked Lambolas first because you have to clear it anyway. And if it's the hammer, you can save Aggle 1 until the very end so you can get a refill for Ganon. Like I said earlier. And
oh,
nice!
That's true.
Nice Elway dash there.
Yes, got almost like the God Pixel there. So let's see, this hint tile says that the boots are in Mini Moldorm Cave. Thanks, game, we already checked that.
Yep. Well, there's that guaranteed boots hint. And sometimes the boots hint could be hiding. It could be like something, a unique item.
That's right, like several hint tiles will refer to a specific location and tell you what's in that instead of telling you what's there or picking an item and telling you where it is.
And just some money there. Leyra is not going to get hit by any of these buzzes. And for good reason, those buzzes do like 2 hearts of damage.
Someone once told me that basically those buzzes are essentially reskinned rats from the escape sequence.
They are, but they are also, their damage is also scaled up. If you did like Crossworld and you had like a fake Light World scenario, they actually make squeaking sounds.
Oh, that's nice. I love it.
Because they're on the rats, they consider themselves rats for the terms of coding. But if you have rats in the Dark World, then they consider themselves buzzes, and they don't squeak, and they deal that very dangerous amount of damage that they have on right now.
Pretty much. All right, Leyra has picked up the maiden. Is going to be heading back towards the boss room. The room has already been filled with light, so we're going to be having a second boss of the race opening up in just a mere moment.
And you might notice that the maidens are different colors. That is because the maiden shares a palette with the sprite you're using.
Today's pun of the day: when you're a baker, you don't loaf around. Har har har, blind. All right, that fire shade we're going to find earlier comes very handy in blocking all these stray fireballs. And Leyra makes mincemeat out of blind. It's going to be our second boss taken down and getting a small key to Ice Palace. Technically, the logic requires some of the keys to Ice Palace, but with your proper Ice Palace bomb jump knowledge, none of them are actually required for what we want to do.
Yeah, but the big key is still required if we need an item in that big chest. Also, pretty textbook fights overall. Solski going for the sword beam strats. And I think Leyra went for the scripted fight. In which you just hit I almost called him Ganon. What? In which you hit blind the first instance possible each time, and the fight just is basically set up to be the same every time.
Alright, looks like Leyra is going to be continuing on the Dark Overworld clear. Going to be checking out the mini game, whereas Solski is going to be doing the same by the looks of it. Or wouldn't be doing Dismiss Chain just yet.
And 20 rupees is our prize from the dig game. I'm going to count this on Solski's end.
Not sure how well that speed glitch was set up, and if it took more time it took to set up than actually setting it up. But now we're going to have the Jeremiah the Bullfrog World Tour.
And it was 18 digs for that 20 rupees. Not really worth it.
Hey Jeremiah, meet Stumpy. Stumpy has a key. It's the big key to the Dark Palace. Now that's an interesting find.
That is indeed. We might be seeing a trick. If the wheat is really useful for key sanity. Those who know it as the Hammer Yump.
Yes, the Hammer Yump is where you go onto the collapsing bridge on Palace of Darkness and bomb jump your way over to the big chest inside of Palace of Darkness, which is where you normally find the hammer, but the hammer is on the fox today.
And that means the Aga plate was 100% required to be early. We also have the big key to Swamp and Eastern, Compass, and the map to Gan's Tower. Unfortunately, one of the useless maps. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's confirmed. Today, you had to fight Aga 1 early for your Dark World access. There was no way around it.
And we got the big key to 2 different dungeons, so we can clear out Eastern Palace. We can now clear out Desert Palace. And we now have the hammer, which unlocks a lot of dungeons that you normally don't consider there. Palace of Darkness and Swamp Palace, of course, have those little hammer mole peg things. And Ice Palace does as well.
Where is Solski going? Oh, Solski's going back to get the Desert Big Key.
That's right. He only made 1 trip up to Zora area earlier, whereas he had, I think, trying to remember here. Yeah, Solski saw the what was on the Zora ledge, then got Zora, but was not able to get the flippers. Whereas Leyra only took 1 trip up there, but had to double dip the Aga 1 tower.
All right, and you know what? Given its key sanity, I cannot even fathom what could be on pedestal right now. There's too much to think about. We do know that Solski has defeated Aga 1, though.
Well, let's think about it. If there's anything that could be on there, it could be the bow. Well, let me see here. The pendants are Ice Palace, I believe, is the green, and Palace of Darkness, so it can't be the bow.
No.
And with the third one, what was the third pendant? Was it? I can't remember. Was it Turtle Rock was the third pendant?
I don't know, but here's the thing. For all we know, the Gan's Tower Big Key could be on pedestal. It could be just a normal small key that we don't really need. There's way too many variables to even think about what could be on pedestal.
And Solski has opted to go in to take Ice Palace as their dungeon of choice. Ice Palace has got 3 items normally and 2 keys in it, so that's about 5 items. But you do have the so yes, thank you. But you do have the all the tools to take everything down. You've got the fire rod, you've got the hammer, you've got all the keys that you need. Both keys logically.
Oh, that was an important key.
Oh, I was watching Solski's screen. What was it?
Oh, that's where the key was. That was the small key to Swamp.
Ooh, shiny. Still don't have the mirror though.
Yeah, you need that in order to enter. And wait, Solski didn't pick up Bombos? Solski saw Bombos and didn't pick it up.
Where was Bombos located again?
It was inside Spectacle Rock. I saw him look at it.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
That's gonna make this place a little harder. So bombs against tower.
Thank you, game. Very useful for that.
Oh. According to our tracker, he tried to hover but failed and didn't bother going back around for it. Oh, here's hoping he doesn't regret it now. And we're gonna go ahead and see.
And a nice hover there.
Yep, and we're seeing what's on Ether Tablet here from Leyra. Just money.
Destroy a tablet, get money. That's just how Zelda works. But we're right next to Hera, and we can check out what's inside there. It is a crystal. Not that that really means much in all dungeons, unless something for a pendant dungeon is locked inside of Ganon's Tower, which is entirely possible, but unlikely at this point.
Yeah, there's some arrows there. Leyra's going to ignore them. And we don't have the big key to Hera, I don't think. A map and a compass are in the western wing of Swamp Palace.
That's a valuable hint, as we can just ignore that entire section altogether now, and it will save us quite a bit of time.
That's right. Sadly, no keys for Tower Hera, big or small, so we can't even do anything else in there besides check the 2 items.
So that's a bit of a bust, and we can't even get into the Turtle Rock right now. But we've got some other places we can go check. So let's see where. See, only a blue rupee on the floating island, but we can check out the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock while we're up here. So although Leyra has all 3, so open the door. Can't go in, but at least you can save some time while we're up here for later.
Actually, Leyra could go in. Can't do anything except for one thing, though.
You can read the hint tile, and that's about it.
Exactly. And there's the mirror in Ice Palace.
Solski read those keys right and was able to find the mirror. That's going to unlock Swamp Palace for good, as well as a bunch more item locations.
You know what it also unlocks?
A useless hint tile?
Which one? Leyra's or Solski's?
I was laughing at Solski's. What was Leyra saying?
I missed it. And yes, the cane is unlocked as well. That's what I was getting at. Because now with the mirror and the flippers, we can get to the Lake Hylia Island and pick up the cane of Samaria.
But Solski finds the bow in Ice Palace.
Wow. All right, Solski making the plays.
But Leyra finds the tempered sword. That's not nothing. So with the upgraded offense, that will allow Leyra to cut through a lot of things that Solski cannot right now in terms of just quick killing.
Oh,
but
hold on. Ooh. So Solski has the mirror. Solski has Aga 1 down. We know where Samaria is. And we need so we need a whole bunch of keys, but in terms of required items, we're just missing the ice rod.
Ooh, well, no, we need the flute too. We need the flute.
Right. I knew I would forget one item.
So yeah, we're about a flute away from being in no mode.
Yeah. Well, we don't know where Ice Rod is, but we're getting information that the hint that Leyra read was actually a Misery Mire's monkeys above the pose.
That's interesting. Not many of the, if any, of the small keys to Mire are technically required. As you can get to anywhere in Mire from anywhere else, it just takes a long way around.
And Solski had a green potion out this whole time, was perfectly safe. Colster is down, and a green pennant has been claimed.
Alright, so in terms of boss kills, that puts Solski up 3 kills to 2, and has a significant item advantage to having that bow and having that mirror. But Leyra is not far behind.
Yes, I do want to correct you on one thing, though. It's actually 4 to 3, because we have to count Aga 1.
Oh, that is correct there. I'm so used to looking at that bottom row and going off of that.
Yeah. If it were any other mode, this would be fine. But no, we have to consider that because this is all dungeon. But Leyra's going to have a little bit easier time with that tempered sword.
Can cut through those pen gators much easier, and there are a lot of them, and they are everywhere.
Yeah. Solski's going to be wasting little time. Going to pick up the cane of Samaria.
Now, with that, Solski has a lot of options on where to go now. With just missing the ice rod and the flute, he has his pick of all the dungeons. In terms of just the item requirements there. We still need that key for Hera, and we still only have the big key for Palace of Darkness. We've not found any of the 6 Palace of Darkness keys, which is a little bit unusual at this point.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I think I agree with Solski's logic here. We're right next to Swamp anyway. We've got the single key for it. We've got the big key. Let's go see what's in the stinking swamp.
Yeah, I don't blame him. We know the left side's useless, but at the same time, well, we can get some information we were lacking if Solski goes that way.
Where have we seen that hint so far? Or does Solski know that the left side is useless?
I don't think Solski does know. Now, there is still thankfully a hint here in Swamp.
Alright, let's see what that hint is. We have some bombs are in some place that we don't particularly care about.
I think it's a Dark Village. That's useful to have, though.
Blue mail is definitely good damage reduction, and with that being the best mail that you're going to find, that's pretty... although the other mail is somewhere, but it's now just a big 20.
Yeah, we could pick it up and never know it. But still, having half defense, doubling your HP pretty much is very nice to have.
Yeah, it does reduces all damage taken except from spikes and other things like spikes by half. So yeah, that's, as you said, doubles our effective HP.
Yeah. Now there are some traps like the rollers that actually that the blue mail does reduce damage, but it doesn't give you any protection underneath your feet.
Pretty much, yep. And Leyra's picking up their mirror, and we'll be heading onward. Guess they'll be trying to set up the bomb jump to save some time.
Yeah. How many race legends do you think we're gonna get right here when Leyra checks this hint?
5. Definitely 5.
Let's find out.
Well, it takes another rage slash on the Pen Gator instead.
That works.
Seems about adequate.
That works, I guess.
Did you put this hint here? I didn't know you could even write with those flippers.
I mean, depending on the way you went through ice, you could have read that hint before you got the flippers if you went north first instead of west.
Yeah, I suppose so, but that's not usually the path I see most people take.
Yeah. I tend to ignore west if I already had the small key, though. Just go north, loop around, due east, and then go west and finish the dungeon that way.
Alright, so Solski's going to be checking out that left side of Swamp. Not going to be finding anything, but he doesn't know that all that's in there are just dungeon items. Not the good kind either.
There is the bow now for Leyra. So both runners have the bow online. Both runners are essentially tied in terms of progression items. The only difference is Leyra has bombos and Solski has the cane.
I thought I saw Leyra go get the cane, but I could be wrong.
With what mirror that Leyra just found in Misery or...
Oh, right, I saw him pass by the mirror, but he didn't... buy the cane, but didn't get it. Silly me.
Yeah, it's fine. And Leyra's gonna heal up here.
Not a bad choice to do. Cold Stare is pretty difficult, and if you can't corner those puffs, it becomes a pain to take down.
Yeah, but with Tempered Sword and the Fire Rod and Bombos, this should be a pretty trivial fight. It is a Green Veil Cold Stare, though, so not a fight you would underestimate.
Yeah, I can get easily just pinballed by the falling icicles. And straight into the puffs.
And Leyra doing some nice menuing there. Well, sort of. Taking advantage of the fact you can pause during the animation for bombos to switch your item.
Oh, almost gets all the fire rod shots off on the puffs there. Manages to take down the first one. has got the Tempered Sword. Should you be able to get through these other two quite easily. And that's 2 down.
Yeah.
A few more swipes, and that will be the 3rd one down. This one's pretty fresh, hasn't taken much damage at all. And down goes Cold Stare for Leyra, and they will be picking up their $5.
Alright. We're now about to see the flooded chest here from Solski. This is new information. And that is the green pendant as well from Ice, so we haven't yet to see what that becomes.
And
Speaking
there's
of
the
Ice,
Ice Rod.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are a flute away from go mode.
We are indeed there, and we still have
However,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dungeons to go.
I said we were a flute away from go mode, but that is only in terms of items. We are not in go mode in terms of keys yet.
Oh, you are correct there. Key Sanity just loves to mess with it that way. You're so used to having all the required items, but we still need to find those keys. We have the key for Desert Palace. We still need the key to get into Hera. We still haven't seen any of the Palace of Darkness keys, which I find so strange. And, of course, Misery Mire keys are and we still need 2 more Turtle Rock keys at least. A 3rd one to make 4 would be ideal.
Actually, with the way the seat is set up, we could only need 1 Palace of Darkness small key. We could just ignore the entire contents of the dungeon. Take the Bowlock side and go straight to the boss.
Ooh, that is nice. But if there's a lot of chests in there, if we don't find the rest of the keys that we need, we may be full clearing it anyway.
Well, speaking of full clears, we have full cleared Swamp Palace, so there's nothing left for us here.
And Solski is leaving Swamp Palace just as Leyra is entering. Leyra's done the top of Dark Death Mountain. That's basically the thing that Leyra has checked that Solski has not.
Yeah, and there's that semi-frozen Cashwar now. And we're seeing Solski make a play for the Bombos tablet. Makes sense, you're in the area.
Yeah, it looks like they're going straight to Desert after this, so why not while you've got the mirror?
So really the only thing that would potentially harm Solski in terms of routing is if the Bombos medallion is actually required for Misery Mire. Because Leyra doesn't care at this point, because Leyra has all 3.
So it's a really question on what's on that Mire front door. Are you feeling lucky, punk?
Well, do I? Not really.
Now, one thing to note that is Leyra did get the hint that the map and compass are on the left side of the swamp, so Leyra can go directly to the boss. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just go and fight some weird eyeball monster.
And someone was asking where Bombos was. Bombos was inside Spectacle Rock. Solski tried to hover to it, but failed. So at least Solski has visual knowledge of it. But it would mean an extra mountain climb for him. Albeit a small one.
Alright, looks like Solski didn't find anything interesting in Desert Palace, so again, we already knew that Aga 1 was our Dark World entrance for the first time, so we're glad that we did not, that neither of the runners decided to take that gamble to having Land Moles have progression. Well, actually, we haven't seen Land Moles yet, so we don't know. We've already cleared out most of the rest of the dungeon anyway. Silly me.
Huh. Well, I can pretty much say bet that it's not a pedestal seed, this seed. Because look at the small keys we need for Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock, our other 2 pendant dungeons. We have next to none. And you know what? They're pendant dungeons, I just realized. You know where all those small keys for them could be?
Vanilla, perhaps?
In the tower.
Ooh, shiny. Now that's an interesting thing that that All Dungeons likes to do. Likes to have you dip Ganon's tower for what you need to finish off the pendant dungeon. So what you're used to the end being is not the end necessarily.
Yeah, I've been thrown off by that more than once. I'll admit that freely. Argus fight for Leyra, pulling the Argai away. Yes, Argai. That's actually your name for them.
You mean they're not little chief snickerdoodles?
Nope. There's a whole enemy database. I actually took my time to study them all.
Yeah, we should come up with our own name for them. A better name.
Well,
But,
I mean, I think the Pokies is a much more fitting name than Hokoboku. But anyway, there's Leyra's Swamp Palace crystal down.
alright, Solski has finished Desert Palace. Where to next? That's pretty much a whole dungeon in front of Leyra at the moment. But again, Solski has not checked out that top half of Dark Death Mountain.
Oh, do we have our 5-6?
We may. Ice Palace was one. I think Swamp Palace was the other.
Solski, I think.
Thieves Town, perhaps?
Solski's confusing me with this movement. Yeah, this is Super Bomb. Yeah, we have our 5-6. It was Swamp Palace and Thieves Town.
Interesting. So we'll get to see what the Super Bomb will let us have. Aside from a big, giant, earth-shattering explosion.
Didn't we get a hint for the Super Bomb, though?
Not that I saw.
Alright, so new information coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if we get one small key for Palace of Darkness and then have to go straight to the boss.
It's possible.
And I guess Solski forgot about the mirror portal little path. Decided to go the long way. Oh well. Big key to ice. Uh-oh.
That is gonna be interesting there. We did not have that before. Are we gonna have to double dip ice just to get that big chest? Or is it just gonna be a red herring?
Well, if you want good bees, go dump your potion in the Pyramid Fairy. It's in this seed, I guess.
Oh, I gave you this bottle. Let me fill it with bees! Alright, so we've got Leyra going through Thieves Town here. Solski's gone to Death Mountain. He has all that he needs to go to to Turtle Rock. So is that where he is headed? That's the question.
I'd say Solski's gonna first. I'll try to get this item again, I think. There's the hover.
And he nails it.
And gets the joke that someone's hook shot hovering back.
Because why not? If you can hover once, why not hover again?
Yeah. The hover, by the way, folks, is a minor glitch, but it's one of the most difficult minor glitches in the game. We talked about the hammer up earlier, and that is a double pixel perfect trick. The hover rather, is a multiple frame perfect trick. You need a frame perfect inputs and frame perfect releases on those off frames. So
and you need to keep doing it as long as you want to keep hovering there. If you drop the inputs even once, you're falling down whatever pit you're trying to hover over.
Yep. Basically, you get one pixel of you get 1 frame of hovering, and then you get 1 frame of movement after you release your A button, and then you need to before you need to reapply the hover. So
Solski just found the head to the left side of the swamp. It was like, "Gee, game, thanks for telling me now."
But yeah, if you see anyone hovering, some might consider it an advantage, but really it shows to you the execution level of the runner and how good they are actually at their execution. It is not an easy trick.
Some of our star runners are known for doing it consistently too, which is something in and of itself.
That is correct. It's a shame though that doing hovers in emulators is not ideal because there's a lot of frame in dropped inputs. If you have sorry, I was just gonna say if you have a console, you're better off trying it there.
Yeah, Leyra's just going to pick up their Cane of Samaria right now, and judging by that fact, I would imagine that they're going to Turtle Rock, just like Solski will be very soon after he finishes clearing out this Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, Super Bunny. He Hookshot Cave. Got some keys here. Hey, finally, a small key to Dark Palace.
Well, that's one key apiece. Now, that'll get you in the front door. The question is, how many vanilla pod keys are we going to find? Or are they all in Ganon's Tower?
Actually, it gets you deeper in the dungeon than you would realize, because we have the bow. We can skip opening the front door if we so choose and just use that key to get the back half.
That would be a good, efficient use of it, I will admit.
Or we use it to go straight to the boss. Wow, nothing but compasses here in Hookshot Cave.
He gets a tempered sword that Leyra's been having for a little while. Would have been nice to have earlier, but what will you do?
And with that tempered sword in hand, both of our runners are now at full gear level for this hard difficulty seed.
Leyra's making use of the shortcut in the light world to get back over to the pyramid faster, but Solski is going to be the first to explore Turtle Rock. We'll see what goodies lie within now. Got a first chest coming up in just a moment, and inside we have just a heart piece, and onward we go.
And just a reminder, folks, about the Hera situation. We do not have any of the keys for Tower Hera, big or small. So all we could check was that first floor.
I kind of want to make a pun about that there, but I'm not really getting any good ones. There's got to be some pun I can make about heretic.
There's the flute!
Ooh, flute inside of Turtle Rock. Interesting. And Leyra's choosing to go towards Eastern now making a small pit stop at Sasha, and we got the Ganon's Tower big key in Sasha's pocket.
You need to turn in the green pendant. We have our Ganon's Tower big key. Oh, wait. Oh, now I'm sad.
Bet is now officially dead now.
No, we can't play our game at the end of this.
It's unlikely that we would have been able to in the first place, but oh well.
Yeah, I was hopeful.
So Solski now has that flute, making good use of that one key, or getting. Didn't even need that key. We just went straight into Turtle Rock, got that flute, and got out. But we now have him activating it. Now we'll be able to see what's in the mire area in terms of opening it, and in terms of what other things are inside of mire, and what things are in the shed and in the checkerboard cave.
And someone is pointing out in chat what our missing items are for Goma. We need the Hera Big Key and 2 small keys for Turtle Rock.
I believe that is, yeah, you're all right. You'll need 3 keys at least to finish Turtle Rock. If you want to skip the big key, or where the big key is normally located in Turtle Rock. If you get all 4, you can check that chest as well. But then you got that one chest nagging at the rest of your mind for the rest of the race.
And there's the small key to Tower Hera.
That unlocks Hera completely. Now Hera will be completable once we find that big key.
So here's a funny little story that I want to share. In this seed, apparently, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock were like, "Hey, you want to trade?" Because it is quick for Misery Mire. So we have inverted medallion requirements.
Next on TLC, Dungeon Swap with your host Ganon.
Sad part is I can picture that as a show that would actually air in high roll.
Now, what you need to do for your dungeons is put plenty of traps in here. You don't want any pesky links sneaking in your dungeon and wrecking the place and throwing pots everywhere. You wouldn't believe how many times that's happened to me.
Okay, I didn't think you would go that far with that, but okay. Good quick kill there from LeyraGG, and that is Eastern Palace cleared for only 10 bombs.
Alright, so now we're going to actually look to see what's in Palace of Darkness and how far Leyra is going to go with that one key that they possess.
Oh, this is a free item here. Hey, Vanilla Misery Mire key!
Always nice to have.
And someone is asking about the silvers. Silvers are, in fact, useless in hard mode until you're in Ganon's room, in which you can turn them on.
Well, I guess they turn on by themselves there, but you can't use them to one-shot the Armos Knights. You can't use them to one-shot Vitreous, and you can't use them to one-shot the second phase of Argus.
Yeah, basically, if you find the silver arrows, which we found them in the secret passage to the castle. No, we found them actually in the escape sequence, never mind. You can only use them in Ganon's room. That's the only place you can use them in hard mode. So they're basically there to not force you to do silverless strats.
Which can be a pain in and of itself if you're not practiced at that. Of course, most of our runners are, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but you can't hit any free boss kills with them. That is how they are programmed in hard mode. Hint here for Solski. Sweet corn on pizza is something. I never get to finish reading that hint when I see it.
And there's another Turtle Rock key. That makes 2.
That makes
for
2.
Solski.
We are 1 Hera Big Key and 1 Turtle Rock Small Key from Go Mode. And we knew that Turtle Rock Small Key was there. I forgot we had a hint for it earlier. And Leyra is going to the back.
That's a free 2 more chests, so it's not a bad idea. The compass for Ganon's Tower. Thank you. Now we can actually do the guessing game that we were not going to be playing in the first place.
And really, in the case of at least one of those keys, both of them could be in Ganon's Tower.
It's still entirely possible, yes. We've got Leyra setting up the hammer yump that we were discussing earlier.
Yep. And Leyra did use her small key to go to the backside of Pendant Pod. Here's hoping that we find another small key for Leyra, because if not, this could be a while before Leyra finds another one.
That is correct. Because there are still a bunch of them left, and we don't know where they are. We can't... Compass Dice Palace, not what we are looking for. So how many chests have we... We've gotten 10 out of the 14 chests inside of Palace of Darkness right now. So we can... Can we still get to the boss with our key? Or do we have to hope and pray that we can find another?
We don't have any more small keys for Leyra. Leyra has to find another small key.
Alright, meanwhile, Solski's making his way through Myra's already gotten to the basement. And we'll be working through this area to get towards Vitreous. It's only a few rooms away. But even with that, it's not the... we have a little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah, it looks like Leyra's going to be looking around for one last item here. This is it. This is the last chest Leyra can check. 20
and that
rupees.
is not a key.
Leyra will have to come back here to finish Palace of Darkness later. Let's hope that at least there's another small key in a more convenient location than Turtle Rock, than Gannis Tower.
But Solski's just finishing Vitreous right now. Now, in hard mode, this is not the easiest fight. Looks like he's going to go for Cape Spin strats, but with hard mode, draining your magic twice as fast, he still gets half of them out before having to keep going. And he's going to finish off the rest with arrows. Ooh, only down to 3 hearts, but that should be enough to finish Vitreous off. More than 8 arrows. You can just ping-pong the eye against the back of the wall, play target practice all day. And down goes Vitreous.
Now, something to note, even though the Cape Drain is double, you can still use slashes to delay it in a fair amount, and that can kill the eyes that way. But a good fight all the same from Solski. Another crystal down. So now the question is, where's the last keys?
He did pick up the key to Hera. That might be the next location to go to for him. Or, yeah, that's looking like the play. No, we're going back to Kakariko. What lies within?
I don't know where Solski's going.
Has Solski done the Smith chain yet? Is that where he's looking to go to?
Probably.
This will buy Leyra a little bit of time, and Leyra will find that flute. And maybe that will allow a little bit of a comeback, but we will see.
Now, it's entirely possible they're in go mode and not even know it, because we could have a third Gannis small key on the way on Laser Bridge for Turtle Rock, as well as the Hera Big Key.
That's entirely possible, but I mean, with Key Sanity, you just never know. That
is true. That is true. And even then, Solski ideally wants to pick up this big key first from Sarhasrala.
Yeah, that's one adventure that Leyra has. Leyra has picked up the big key to Gannis Tower at Sasha, and that's one of those one-off locations that you don't normally think of checking until it becomes valuable. So we've got Solski checking off a bunch of other one-offs while he's in the area. Going to be getting that $5 from the bat. The bat's even cheaper than normal today.
I was about to say, I didn't recall Leyra checking this. And
Yep,
it's
just $20. So it looks like Leyra's going a bit deeper into Turtle Rock than Solski did.
Yeah, this could be the play. Nice shot. Nice luring as well. Unfortunately, without a second small key, that's all the further Leyra can go.
All right. So, we still have that Tower of Hera big key in the world. How? It's unlikely, but is it possible for that? No, it can't be.
It can be on.
Could Tower of Hera big key be on top? Be on the pedestal today?
It could. It's always a possibility. Because realistically, we could just. Oh, someone's saying that it can't. Realistically, we could just use that one small key and go straight to the boss of Pod.
Looks like Leyra opted to use it elsewhere. So, but Solski, we hasn't even been into Pod, so we don't know what we're going to be finding in there.
Turtle Rock.
And we are ducking away back up to Death Mountain. So into Turtle Rock, we are going back again.
Yes, but... And with that third small key in hand, we can full clear the dungeon. Well, with the exception of the vanilla big key chest, which, in this case, you need all 4 keys for that.
It's always that 50-50. Do you go for the full clear of items, or do you go for the boss? But this is all dungeons. I would say the boss is more valuable in this case.
Yeah, and it's simple enough to get back to. So this was a required... No, that wasn't even a required double of a Turtle Rock. I just realized. No, wait. It was. Because we had a small key in Mire. Never mind. I almost forgot about that.
Yep. So, assuming that you can get all the dungeons taken care of before Ganon's Tower, we've got Leyra with 4 left, and Solski with also 4 left, but the ones that Solski has left to do are a bit shorter than the ones that Leyra has left to do.
Yeah. Leyra has to do Misery Mire. Leyra also has to find that third small key, those other 2 small keys for Turtle Rock, which we know one of them is in Mire thanks to a hint. And Solski is going deeper into Turtle Rock now.
Probably going to be making a beeline straight for the Trinex. Whereas Leyra is just beelining to go release some bees. And get some potions.
Yeah, so now it's just a matter of figuring out... So our go mode is the Tower of Hera big key.
Of all things, yes.
And... You know what I said? And at the start of this cast? Basic Key Sandy adds a lot more turtle... It adds a lot more ice rods to that pool. Tower of Hera big key is one of those extra little ice rods, if you want to consider it that way.
Pretty much.
We're essentially hunting for a second ice... For one of the Key Sandy ice rods. Okoboku's going down rather nicely. Oh, the fireballs from the shooter tags him.
And that's not the end of the world, but it's the dungeon will drain you of hearts faster than you would think otherwise.
Yeah, the roller's doing 3 hearts with only on green mail. The Hokoboku's doing a lot of damage. The laser's doing quite a bit more damage too. And now
well, we are on blue mail, but even so, yes.
Yeah, even with blue mail, it still hurts a lot. And we haven't even talked about the chain jumps. Chain jumps are the second most damaging enemy in the game, right behind Ganon's contact damage. Small key to Dark Palace. That's good news for Leyra.
We'll know where another one is, but Leyra is a bit behind with all of Misery Mire to clear, while Solski is going to exploring rest of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, now the question is, what's here in this chest? Solski's just gonna hover across for a piece of heart.
Alright, we got Leyra into Misery Mire right now. Hopefully taking out all these enemies in this first room is not a misery for them. But takes them down easily enough. Onward we go. Gonna be checking out this place. Solski's all at the mini roller room for the castle, or sorry.
Big key!
There we go!
Pet is dead and Solski is now in go mode!
He can skip that vanilla big key chest and go straight to Trinex. And then just from he's in a good position right now. He can go to finish the Turtle Rock, go to Palace of Darkness, mirror back to Eastern, go to Ganon's Tower, mirror back to Hera, then take the mirror portal back straight towards GT here. The routing is great.
Yeah, this is perfect routing from Solski. Can finish up the mountain in one trip, like I said, and just has to do Pod Eastern, and then you can just save and quit. Starting to link south. There's even a small key to Ganon's Tower right there. I don't know why he's checking these extra chests. Third small key to Dark. The blue cane on the bridge!
It's something, I guess.
Well, like I said, the cane still works in certain rooms. It does not provide invincibility in all of them. That room is where one of the blue cane's usefulness comes in.
Pretty much. You just normally use it to get through Spike Cave, and that's about it. But can't even do that anymore.
Oh, wait! I forgot. Solski's not in go mode yet!
Oh? How's that?
He hasn't gone to Sir Hassel, though.
Oh, that's right. We're in no mode instead of go mode. So he has not checked what's in the old man's pockets.
I completely forgot Solski has not turned in Green Pendant. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's in his routing.
Probably can find it pretty easily, yeah.
Clear Pod Eastern, check the Green Pendant, and then it'll be truly go mode.
You just have to remember that. I mean, it's likely that he will, but you can never be exactly sure. You can just be so excited about that you've got everything that you need to clear all the dungeons, and then forget about the Ace of Spades that's sitting in Sasha's pockets.
Yeah, unfortunately, Solski not getting an ideal bounce from Trinex there, but a good click kill all the same. And hopefully this pendant catch will remind Solski to go check the green pendant. After Hera.
We would hope so, but we'll see here. Now, is he going to be doing the routing that we suggested, or does he have something else in mind?
He's mirroring.
He's got the flute out.
I like this. I like this. He's going to Palace of Darkness. He's going to turn in the green pendant and be truly in go mode. Because here's the thing. He's going to leave Hera for last, which is smart.
That's right. You just go to Ganon's Tower, or mirror to Hera, and then once you exit Hera, you are in right in front of Ganon's Tower and can just waltz right in.
Yes, and on the way to turning in Kiki the Monkey, Solski will not be turning in the green pendant.
He could be doing it after he finishes Eastern Palace, so it's not the easiest, well, it's not the quickest way to do it, as you're walking directly by there with carrying Kiki, but it's a bit easier to avoid mirror bonks that way.
I suppose that's true, but this would be a huge development if Solski forgets to turn in that green pendant and thinks it's in Ganon's tower.
I mean, to be honest, it is an easy gamble to make. There is it most likely in one random chest you haven't found, or is it in the 20 or so plus chests that are in Ganon's tower?
The odds are, unfortunately, that it would be in Ganon's tower. At least you know what's in the basement. That was a hint right there for Solski. I didn't see what the item was. Meanwhile, Leyra has defeated Vitreous.
And I believe I had... where did Solski find that other... He found the other pallet key inside of Turtle Rock. So, thankfully, there's not many places Leyra can go other than Turtle Rock. So, it's a blessing in disguise for them.
Yeah. And actually, when Leyra picks up... If Leyra goes to Turtle Rock... That's go mode for Leyra. Because Leyra will get the Tower Hera big key that they are missing.
But will it be in enough time?
Well, here's the thing. We also know that there is a Palace of Darkness small key in Mimic Cave, if nothing else. I think there's also one in Turtle Rock. Oh no. Leyra's going to check the big chest of the East Town.
Oh, but are they going to Ice Palace after that as well? There's another abandoned big chest in there too. Let's hope not. Thankfully, the big chest in Thieves Town is not that deep in, but it still takes time. Time that they may not have.
Actually, wait a minute. I'm only seeing 2 small keys lit up on Leyra's tracker. Did Leyra not do Purple Chest, or did Leyra not do the left side of Misery Mire?
In all this excitement, I must say I've forgotten.
Well, either way, that could be what's influencing Leyra's routing right now. Is not having that 3rd key.
That's entirely possible. So we'll see where they go and what is indeed, well, I guess not in the chest at the moment there, because we know it's nothing terribly interesting.
Oh no, Leyra skipped the cutscene chest. That's where the Turtle Rock small key is that Leyra needs. Oh no, and we know that Leyra got that hint. We know both runners got that hint.
So we're going to have to see where... Oh, we've got 5 rupees inside of the big chest. A big fat nothing, just like we thought. Alright, but thankfully... But no, yeah, Leyra only has 2 keys. Is hoping for a vanilla small key, which they're not gonna find.
Did Leyra not get the hint about the small key in Turtle Rock? For Turtle Rock in Misery Mire? Or did they forget?
It's entirely possible.
That's something we'll have to ask them later. Spike Cave.
We're gonna have another check of Spike Cave here. We know that there's nothing interesting inside.
Actually,
the only thing
hold on. This is our first check of Spike Cave on this seed. I didn't see Solski go over here.
No, but we know where everything important is. What could possibly be here?
Well, in Leyra's case, the 4th small key to Turtle Rock. That way they didn't have to go back into Misery Mire. Which unfortunately is the case, I think is the case here.
No, they're going... they have the hookshot out. Where are they going?
I don't know.
Well, Solski is finishing up Palace of Darkness here. He's going to be taking on Helmshorn King as we speak. And then comes that all-important mirror to Eastern, finish off Eastern, and do you remember to check Sastrasala?
Yeah, checking old man Sarsaparilla. It's too hard to say his real name, let's be real.
Yeah, you're right. I just call him Sasha and have it call it a day.
Only 20 rupees on Helmshorn King. The third pendant has been acquired from Solski. So now, does Solski remember Sahasrara as the mirror? Wait.
You still haven't done Eastern Palace, son. And he remembers in this gonna have to take the small trek back.
This is actually good for him. Don't take the shortcut. No! Solski, no! Okay, Solski's gonna go ahead and do Eastern Palace here. Solski's not gonna be able to do the thing. Oh no!
Do the thing! No, don't do the thing! Ah!
When I hear do the thing, I think of the ending of The Messenger, even though I haven't played it yet. Seems like a fun game. I should probably pick that up.
I'm just remembering those old fake G.I. Joe PSAs. Give him the stick! Don't give him the stick!
So, there is an opportunity for Leyra to catch up immensely here.
By just going straight to Trine X and skipping the big key chest?
Cannot.
No, can't. He has one key, and that's it.
That's correct. But if Leyra remembers the hint to that Mr. Meyer has a Turtle Rock small key, that'll put Leyra in go mode.
That is right. But they're heading to Mimic Cave, so it can pick up... Well, which key was in Mimic Cave again?
Another Palace of Darkness key, which will let Leyra finish off Helmshorn. Which we know has
a blessing
nothing.
in disguise. It's not what you want to continue in Turtle Rock, but it is what will let you continue in the race.
And here come the Armos Knights for Solski. Gets a quick kill off of that. Nice recovery, too.
Just shotgunning, or... Yeah, just machine gunning those arrows. And down go the Armos Knights. Not even get a chance to do their dance.
Alright, moment of truth. Solski, are you checking Sahasrara? He is floating away.
No. Oh no! We still have a race, folks! We still have a race!
Yes, because Leyra's about to get the big key to Tower of Hera. And if a small key to the fourth small key to Turtle Rock is in Hera, this is gonna put the nail in the coffin for Solski, and suddenly Leyra will be looking from pretty far away to right on his heels.
Because you only need that one key to get back to Helmshorn King, and we've got everything we need for Tower of Hera. We just need to get to Trinex, and that's it. But with no keys...
It might look like Solski's in the lead right now, but if he does assumes that Ganon Tower has the Ganis Tower Big Key, which we know it doesn't, Solski will be wasting literal minutes. Minutes that will eat up his lead significantly.
Yeah, clearing Ganon's Tower is like a good 5 minutes right there. If not more. I've not really compared the times, but hey. Alright, so normally this is weird playing our guessing game, but if we were playing to play the game today, we're going to have a lot bigger number than 22. We have 216 items to check, and we already know where it is.
Yeah. So Leyra is leaving a portal here, going to go around the mountain and hope that there is a small key in Tower of Hera for Turtle Rock. If there is, Leyra has suddenly caught up a lot of time.
But if there isn't, it's really going to be which items is Solski going to check? Do you double dip the long ice palace in search of it? Do you go back into Thieves Town? Do you go into some obscure place we haven't seen yet?
Leyra is sacrificing the portal. I don't see why. Oh, because Tower of Hera is the last crystal. Leyra might be relying on a small key in Ganon's Tower.
That's entirely possible, and that we're going to have each runner dipping Tower or Ganon's Tower for something we know is not there.
Well, there's one key difference here. We know for a fact Ganon's Tower Big Key is not in Ganon's Tower. We don't know if the fourth small key to Turtle Rock is in Ganon's Tower. It could be there, and that could be the key Leyra uses.
And there could be a few extra pod keys to make things easier, although Leyra has enough to go where they need to go.
So the story, folks, is Leyra is just missing one Turtle Rock small key for Go Mode. Solski is missing the Ganon's Tower Big Key, which is far more significant and is nowhere in Ganon's Tower. Ladies and gentlemen, let's find out what's inside Ganon's Tower. No game, just having fun.
Ooh, Leyra misses the bomb jump, falls all the way back down to the first floor. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't understand why the bomb jump either. Small key to Dark Palace. But yeah, I don't understand the bomb jump there because you already have the hook shot. Why not just shoot yourself across?
I think they're trying to bomb jump back? Question mark? I don't know, because I saw them hookshotting to it. Or was I watching Solski do that? Great, now I'm confusing myself.
Thing is, you usually bomb jump to walk across. I mean, it's the NMG strat to do that, but still. Nice setup there. And now it's time for Leyra to fight Moldorm. 5 rupees. Another 5. 3 bombs. And 20 rupees on right side.
There's not even all that much to find in GT that could be interesting. You could find another boomerang, the mushroom, and a few assortment of keys that you already don't need.
That's right. The key that matters right now, though, is if Ganon's Tower has a Turtle Rock key. If that is the case, Leyra can pick that up and go back and finish Turtle Rock, and that'll be GG. Also, we haven't commented on it, but there's a single arrow from Moldorm.
Trolldorm's trolls even from to the grave.
Yeah. And that is actually... There's a little bit of a fun fact. That's actually not in Moldorm 2's chest. That's actually 20 rupees up there. What's actually the location of the single arrow is, of all things, the second chest in the dark basement of Palace of Darkness, with all the rupees.
All right,
we had both boomerangs. I didn't even notice that. Solski picked up the red one somewhere.
I believe there was one on, I want to say the ledge of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, I might have hit it up. Alright, so Leyra's in here. So far, no information that would help Leyra just yet.
Ooh, and Leyra's going straight for right side.
At this point, Leyra just needs a small key, so can easily go either way.
But even if Leyra does find the Turtle Rock small key somewhere in there, they have to go all the way back to Turtle Rock, clear it, come back, whereas Solski could remember that, hey, I should go visit that nice old man at any moment. And that is just like a short walk and the flute back. And, well, a tower or a mountain climb, but that's about it.
Here's the thing, though. It's actually easier to mirror out of Ganon's tower, go finish Turtle Rock, and then come right back. Whereas Solski has to climb the entire mountain over again just to do that. Come back. So it's a little more time wasted on Solski's part.
Interesting. Wouldn't think that the tower would have, or the mountain climb would eat up that much time. But some days it does.
Worst place for the small key to be for Leyra is at the top of the tower, because once you defeat Agatu, you're warped onto the pyramid. Piece of heart, 10 arrows, and a piece of heart from the Armos chest. So there is no small key seen except for one singular Palace of Darkness small key. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be seeing the tile room.
But unfortunately for Solski, the tile room will be futile.
Yeah. Taking advantage of a little trick with the cape. You hold the wall. Oh, while using it, you don't drain magic.
And you also become immune to wall masters too.
Yeah, you don't have a hitbox with the cape equipped. So, while we're taking the break here, just as a reminder, folks, Leyra could have gotten the small key in left side Mr. Meyer, but chose not to get the cutscene chest. In all honesty, I don't know why. And there is not a small key in Turtle Rock in Ganon's Tower, as we now know it.
You know what would be hilarious? Is that Leyra goes to finish Palace of Darkness, and then checks the pedestal, and there's this Turtle Rock small key there.
That would be hilarious. It would just be faster to get the one in the cutscene chest, though, really. And we know it's there because of a hint. So either Leyra didn't check it, or Leyra forgot that they checked it. Just wrote up that information.
And Solski's heading over... Where is Solski going? Are they going to Ice Palace? No.
Solski is going to check the Dark Ice Rod hint.
That is the one chick I don't think we have found yet, and that's going to be the one that tells us where the Palace of, or where the big Ganon's Tower big key is.
Yeah, Solski with the knowledge.
Taking bets on how many rage slashes we get.
The big key view is being held by someone friendly. Oh no! Now he has to figure out which friendly person that means. but that's a hint you rarely see used. But good information on Solski, because that is a guaranteed hint in Sanity.
Oh.
Big chest.
Bombs. No.
So Solski has to figure out where the person friendly is.
The sick kid, do you have what we need to? No, we've already robbed you. Oh, and Leyra is actually making good use in that while we're in Ganon's Tower, not finding anything. Let's go take down Aga 2 while we're at it.
Yeah, this will save some time.
And there are a few chests on the climb that we have not seen yet, so it's entirely possible that we could have Leyra be saved by a small key on the climb.
Yes, but it's gonna be too little too late, I feel, because Solski is just now finding his Ganon's Tower big key. He remembers Sahasrahla. He could have caught this a while ago. He's like, I already been here. He wrote it off or something. There it is. Now Solski's in go mode.
Alright, so this is Solski's race to lose at the moment there, because Solski is now officially in goal mode, despite how many times I've already said it in this race so far. So we're going to pick up some supplies for the climb, and whereas Leyra's already making the climb, Leyra has 2 dungeons to finish that Solski has already done.
Yeah, Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock. And the really sad part is, Leyra could have been go mode a lot sooner if Leyra did not forget the small key in Misery Mire for Turtle Rock.
Some days you just need to gamble, and some days you just can't.
Well, like we said, I've been saying this a lot. We did have a hint that the Turtle Rock small key was in Misery Mire. So either Leyra didn't read that hint tile, or Leyra just plain forgot. It's a shame that it happened in a race like this, when it was actually really close. But it happens.
Yep. Unfortunately so. Alright, so Solski's making that climb up Death Mountain. Gonna have to jump over to the Turtle Rock area and go straight into the Ganon's Tower and be on his victory lap.
Yeah. And I'd like Chad to remind me here, where did we find that hint about Misery?
I've forgotten where it was as well. But we've got Leyra about 2/3 way up the tower right now. We've only got a couple torch rooms to go, and then we've already got the majority of the gauntlet done. We still have Moldorm too, of course, but that's easy to do. Solski might even just hover it. Who knows?
Alright, Leyra's last 4 chances of hope. Actually, something's coming back to me. I think the hint was actually in the Palace of Darkness basin on the way down the Bowlock side.
You could be right there, yes.
That was so long ago for Leyra. Easy enough. I wouldn't put it past him to forget. And Moldorm 2 is down. Not Lamola's to me. Brain, work. Last chance is a small key to Hyrule Castle.
Oh, not what you want to see. Got our hopes up, game. You got our hopes up. How dare you?
And we can't have a small key for Turtle Rock at the pedestal, so Pet is dead. Because by the logic of Key Sandy, you need all 4 keys to defeat all the keys to defeat any particular boss.
To prevent moments like I've had plenty of times where you derp out on key logic and lock yourself out of a section otherwise.
Yeah, I don't think Leyra's too happy here. But a quick
that's like great Aga 2 fight.
And with Aga 2 down, it is not time to fight the pig just yet. Leyra still needs to get a small key for Turtle Rock, sorry.
Plus, finish off the rest of Palace of Darkness as well.
And with the extra small keys, it is feasible with the 3 small keys we found for Palace of Darkness to full clear the dungeon.
We've already got a lot of it as well.
And maybe Leyra will double check that hint tile in Palace of Darkness and realize their mistake.
At this point, it's just a little bit too little too late, unfortunately, but stranger things have happened. It would take a lot of misplay for it to be 2 dungeons worth of time made up, but miracles can happen sometimes, I guess.
At this point, this is Solski's race to lose, unfortunately. Aga 2 is the last dungeon that needs to be cleared. Leyra's going back into pod now. So I think, if my memory serves me, it was this hint. And Leyra's not reading it.
It looks like Leyra is going straight to Helmstor King and nothing else.
Well, no, Leyra is going this way to skip using the small key in the front door. It's a longer path, and we're not even gonna see Mole or 2 fall. Solski just gonna hover.
Oh, you're looking for a Moldorm fight? Too bad of hover time.
And yeah, Leyra is gonna go straight to the boss. Alright, so it's Aga 2 time for Solski.
We got a double on the first round.
Nice triple!
Very good triple indeed.
And with Aga 2 down for Solski and all the dungeons clear for the goal, it is now time to fight the pig. Tempered sword in hand, 12 slashes in the first 2 phases, the Trident phase and the Fire Spat phase. Afterwards, we enter phase 3, the Ground Pound phase. Ganon will teleport randomly. It is seeded for both runners, so they will have the same RNG. A slash after Ganon stops teleporting. And will have him break the floor. 4 attacks will advance us into the final phase, the Darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, stun Ganon with the sword, and let loose a single arrow that you can only use here in hard mode. 4 silver arrows would do it. Solski has only 7 shots, so if he misses 4 of them, he will have to do this silverless strat, in which it is 3 spin attacks per missed silver arrow.
That is correct there. And Solski's getting a good RNG by getting into that corner and getting Ganon straight into phase 3 without having to deal with many of those annoying fire bats at all.
That's right. And one other thing I forgot to mention here regarding Silverless, you have to do the Silverless attacks before Ganon teleports, not after. That's the only time he's vulnerable. And even though you can use spin attacks, you can use circular slashes as well, but spins are far more consistent. Perfect timing for Solski. That is GG right there. Get your GGs in chat for Solski, who wins Game 3 of this set between himself and LeyraGG. We'll get you an official time shortly. I gotta go pull up IRC real quick.
Unofficially. Oh, you've got the official time now?
Yep. Solski has finished in first place with 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 8 seconds.
A great time for an all dungeons clear, let me tell you.
And 6 seconds after that, no, 5 seconds after that, Leyra has forfeited.
That's unfortunate there, but searching the whole world for that last Turtle Rock small key is not something you're going to want to do, especially when your opponent is already finished. But yes, GG's to both of our runners here. Let's see if either of them feel like an interview today.
Yes, I've asked them in Discord. In IRC rather, and we'll wait for them to come in. But yeah, this seed, unfortunately, it was a very... It came down to just one key for both runners. Unfortunately for Leyra, it was the third small key in Turtle Rock, and the only small key we knew of was in the cutscene chest, and Leyra skipped it. If Leyra had got that key, this could have been a significantly different race.
That is correct. There were so many other things that happened as well. That excuse me. Yeah, we had an AGA 1 seed, but we had both people figuring it out that where that was not too slowly. We checked pretty much everywhere else it could be first, but because no one wants to do an early AGA 1, but even so.
Yeah, this here just curveballs all over the place. But at least good knowledge from Solski, remembering that there was a hint in Turtle for the Ganon's Tower big key somewhere in the world.
And process of elimination just reduces that to that one cave where he found, and it wasn't too far of a search from there.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Leyra, I don't think will be joining us for an interview because Leyra is actually not in IRC anymore. And we are now joined by the winner, GG to you, Solski. That big key almost tripped you up, but good knowledge knowing where that Dark Ice Rod was.
Thanks, guys.
So, this seed could have been very, very different. I'm not sure if Leyra misread the hint, or she was just risking it, but did not get the third Turtle Rock small key in the cutscene chest of Misery Mire. And if Leyra had it, this could have been a very different story, because you were still hunting for that small key, and that would have put the Tower Hero big key for Leyra in go mode.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit about it, and that's exactly what happened. He misread the hint and thought it was a Garbo hint, so it was really unfortunate. I mean, the second I saw where the big key was, I immediately thought I was losing, so props to Leyra again for a really, really tough series. Like, this was, like, I squeaked out with a 2-1, honestly.
Yeah.
It could have went either way, I think, all 3 races, so it was really close.
Yeah, this was literally one of the hardest seeds you can pull from the randomizer. And hey, we know what was on the pedestal. Hi there, Mushroom.
Okay. Did we see what the witch had, at least? Would have been like the trolliest fetch quest ever?
I don't know. Probably was our last Turtle Rock key, because we've checked everywhere else. Except for the contents of Tower or Palace of Darkness.
It couldn't be, just because of key logic. It would actually require 4 keys to be able to be available to beat it, so if it places it in pedestal with TR being a pendant, it wouldn't be able to generate there.
Alright, so the 4th Turtle Rock key would have been in Palace of Darkness somewhere. That was locked behind at least 4 keys.
Yeah, those keys though, man, like that was scary. And honestly, I didn't want to do anything in pod until I started getting like every single pod dark palace key and its mother. I think I had 3 keys going in. And I was like, well, I
Something
definitely
like
should
that.
I should safety check like them, because I figured Leyra would have done that as well. Just doing a little bit of scouting, just knowing how he plays. I figured he would probably play it safe as well in my position, so I was like, I might as well just kind of shadow. And then I saw, again, I hate going back to it, but then I saw the Nikki and I was like, oh no, mistakes were made.
Yeah, it turns out that Leyra like went in with like just 1 key and then burned it on a door and was not able to get that couldn't get them to the boss.
I was actually fully committed to just Gomo Pod 2. If I stuck with the 1 key, I just was not going to mess around and just risk GT as well. But I mean, it turned out that I would have missed the big key anyways, which is unfortunate. I mean, it might have been a sub 2 otherwise, just because of the full clear GT. But
yeah,
well,
you could have just got the key on the way to getting Kiki, but apparently you forgot.
Absolutely. I basically saw the Hera big key and it was like completely laser focused on dungeons at that point and just completely forgot about it. I got when I got the pendant, I was like, oh, maybe I should check this right away. And I was like, no, I can route that in with Eastern later. And I didn't want to do Eastern right away. Just so I can save time routing with Pod. And then again, just 1 key away from go mode, I completely slipped my memory and went right past it.
And then you panicked for a little bit after realizing the hint. Which again,
I wouldn't call it panicking. It was more just remembering. That's my memory dance. I don't use a tracker map, so I'm just going through my head. Okay, what could it be? And I was like ready to pull up one of those hint documents of what they are, but I was like, where is it bookmarked? So I thought through my head again, and I looked at my menu and I saw the green pendant, and I was like, oh, okay, Sash, I'm boned. So that's pretty.
I know that every runner has their own little personal superstitions. Mine is that like Sasha always has something important, no exceptions. But I know that everyone has that one place that they will always try and check a little bit earlier than other runners would, just because it's burned them so many times.
Yeah.
I think in my case I think it's Ice Rod or Spike Cave, one of the two. But yeah, like I said, good knowledge to knowing that there's a hint at Dark Eyes. Not many people go over that far or out of the way hint, unless it's in Verdun, which is a quick mirror away. But
yeah. Well, luckily for me, I knew that was the last like hint available that I haven't checked through. Just going through my head, I was like, it's all dungeons. I've visited all the dungeon tiles. I've done all the overworld ones except for that one. That's why I actually went back for Bombos. 2 is I wasn't sure, like, it actually would have turned into a 50-50 anyways, where the big key hint would have been at that point. But I didn't see that hint yet. That was more what I was going for, and Bombos was just in case TR or Meyer ended up being Bombos.
Yeah.
I might as well do them there. And again, like I was, that's another thing. I was really hesitating if I should go for that hint before GT, but I felt like I was going to be cutting it close, and it is like a minute and a bit to do, and that's a big time commitment that late in the race. So I felt like it was the best time to do it, and kind of bit me. It could have saved me a lot of time, but that's the breaks.
Yeah. Well, GG to you. You managed to win this race. It could have gone either way at the end. It's just down to 1 key, 1 decision, and it ended up working in your favor. But yes, GG's to you, Solski. The winner of this race, folks. Give them some GG's in chat, as well as to LeyraGG. They both put on an excellent race for us, I feel, despite what happened. And so make sure to give them both a follow here on Twitch. And of course, we are on Speed Gaming too. Make sure to follow us here on Speed Gaming the Original and on Speed Gaming's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you are more familiar speaking in French, German, or Spanish, we have commentary reaching in those languages for you as well. And of course, we do not host these matches exclusively. If we have the crew for them, we also do these on a Link to Fast Randomizer 1 through 4. So give those a follow as well. But that's going to do it for us here. So from all of us here at A Link to the Fast Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night to everyone, and catch us when you can.